Today on Southern Accent Foods, I'm making 3 potato side dish recipes. I've got the easiest roasted potatoes ever, creamy mashed potatoes, and a next level potato gratin that you can make ahead. Plus, I've got a great cookbook recommendation for the foodie in your life. Stick around for that and I'll show you how all this is done. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, that's about 205 degrees Celsius. We're going to start with these red potatoes for roasting. These are considered a waxy potato as opposed to a starchy potato. That means they hold their shape when cooked. That makes them great for things like roasting and potato salad, not so good for mashed potatoes. Quarter the smaller ones up and just cut the larger ones into bite-sized pieces. Get these into a bowl so we can season them up. Pour in just enough olive oil to coat them lightly. Hit them with a generous grind of black pepper and sprinkle in a good bit of any fresh herbs you like. Rosemary is a classic here. I'm using thyme today because I really like thyme. Get in there and mix everything together. Get these onto a sheet pan and into the center of your preheated oven. Let them go for about 25 to 30 minutes, then pull them out. Turn them over and stir them around so you can let some of the other sides go brown. You might need to do this 2 or 3 times. Just keep an eye on them and use your judgment. Take them out when they've all gone nice and brown. Here's the pro chef tip for you. Now is when you want to add the salt, not at the beginning. Think about how the fast food place does their fries. These are ready to go. Next up, I'm making some creamy mashed potatoes with a tangy kick. You'll use russet potatoes for this. These have a starchy texture. They're not waxy like the red potatoes we just roasted. They tend to fall apart when you cook them, but that starchiness makes them nice and creamy for mashed potatoes. Cut them into medium chunks. Get them into a large pot and cover with cold water. Bring to a boil and cook until tender, about 20 to 25 minutes. While they cook, melt 2 sticks, that's 8 ounces of unsalted butter. This is one of the best tools ever for creamy mashed potatoes. It's called a ricer. You put the potatoes in here and then you squeeze them through the screen. You can adjust this one for a fine, a medium, or a coarse texture. You can use it for mashed potatoes, any cooked vegetable puree. You can even use it to make baby food. Get your cooked potatoes in here and push them through into a large pot set over low heat. Stir them around to dry them out so they'll take more butter and milk. Pour in your melted butter and stir to combine. Pour in about 1/4 to 1/2 cup whole milk and add 8 ounces of sour cream. Add plenty of salt and, if you like, some white pepper. Stir it all up to combine. You can add some more milk if you need to adjust the consistency. Sprinkle with some chopped chives and these are ready to go. I'm going to put links to all the special kitchen equipment I use in this video down below in the description. I use them all and they're great to have. I'm also going to tell you about this cookbook right here. It inspired one of the recipes in this video. This is called Simply French. It's by Patricia Wells. It's about a French chef called Joël Robuchon. The potato gratin I'm making was inspired by a recipe in this book. This guy was considered, when he was still alive, to be the best chef possibly in the world at the time. He was known for these unbelievable mashed potatoes. There's a really great springtime soup recipe in here that I've made a few times, plus all kinds of other amazing stuff as well. This is a great gift idea if you have a foodie in your life that wants to learn more about French cooking. I'll put a link to it down below. Now we're going to make this amazing gratin. This is my adaptation of the recipe from the book. We're going to use Yukon Golds for this one. These potatoes are somewhere in the middle between waxy and starchy, so they're very versatile for different types of dishes. They also have an earthy, delicious potato flavor that just can't be beat. First, we have to make this basic tomato sauce. Start with a can of whole tomatoes. Puree them up You can use a stick blender, a food processor, or just crush them up with your hands. Dice up 1 medium onion or some shallots, and slice or mince up 1 clove of garlic. Get some olive oil into a saucepan over medium heat and get the onions in. Season with salt and pepper. Stir and cook until softened, about 5 or 6 minutes. Add in the garlic and cook for 1 more minute. Pour in your tomatoes and add a pinch of sugar. Turn the heat down and cover it up partially. Let it simmer away for the flavors to blend about 30 minutes. Stir it up every once in a while. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, that's about 205 degrees Celsius. Peel up your potatoes. Use a chef's knife, or you could use a mandolin like this, and get your potatoes cut up into thin slices. Now this is optional, but you can reserve enough potato slices to cover the top of the dish, and use a pastry cutter like this to cut out some perfectly round slices for the top. You can save the trimmings to throw in a little pot of soup or something. Either way, you'll want to set aside some of the slices for the top. Get the potato slices, except for the topping, into a large bowl. Season them up with salt, some pepper, and some thyme leaves. Pour in just enough of the tomato sauce to lightly coat the potatoes. You won't use it all. Mix everything together to coat, and you can freeze the rest of the tomato sauce to use for something else later. Get a shallow baking dish onto a small sheet pan and rub it all over with a cut clove of garlic. You really want to push it hard in there. It's totally cool if you see some crushed bits of garlic around the bottom and sides. Layer in the sliced potatoes. Pour in just enough chicken stock to barely come up to the shoulders of the potatoes. Arrange the remaining cut slices on top, or just use the rest of the slices if you didn't trim them. Sprinkle over just a little more chicken stock. Season with more salt, and for me, lots of fresh pepper. Get this into your oven until most of the liquid has been absorbed and the top has gone nice and brown. Check it after about 45 minutes, but it might take an hour or more. You can make this ahead and let it cool. Cover it up, stick it in the fridge, and reheat it when you're ready for your meal. Whenever I cook potatoes, I'm always reminded of my ex-wife. Similar figure. But I remember the time she asked me to get a potato clock. So I went to the Walmart. I asked the guy in the electronics department, I said, "Do you have a potato clock?" He said, "No, we got clocks like you plug into the wall. We got alarm clocks. We got battery powered, like travel alarm clocks. We got wind-up alarm clocks, but I've never heard of a potato clock. What is that?" I said, "Well, I don't know. But I start a new job in the morning. I have to be there at 9 a.m. And my wife told me I needed to get a potato clock." That's so stupid. Oh man, if you'd like another great side dish recipe, get out of this video as quick as you can. This is where you need to go next. I'll see you there.